This is Nicholas Light, and he represents the biggest problem in the anime community. Everyone is an expert, but nobody's a fan. Now, I say he's an expert, but some of you probably have no idea who this guy is. Which brings up an important question. Who the hell is Nicholas Light, and why should I care? I'll get more into who he is soon, but the reason you should care is because, on top of being one of the most viewed anime reactors, Nicholas Light recently got a bunch of traffic for saying the new season of One Punch Man is trash, and then claiming that the director of One Punch Man is upset with him. He, like thousands of other people on the internet, talked so much about how bad One Punch Man and JC Staff are that the director of the anime decided to speak up for the studio, claiming that this kind of reaction ignores their struggles, and even deactivated his Twitter because of all the hate he was getting. And this is exactly what I mean when I say everyone's an expert, but nobody's a fan. Everyone wants to hop on Twitter and post about how One Punch Man is trash or how bad the animation is, but nobody stops to think about how filling everyone's timeline with constant vitriol does more harm to One Punch Man's reputation and its creators than it does any service. Part of being a fan does involve being knowledgeable, but it also means cheering for the thing you're a fan of and supporting it. And this is why Nicholas Light is an example of what's wrong with so-called anime experts. He claims to be a fan of One Punch Man, but all he's doing is getting people to hate the show. Now, to that point, you might argue that he doesn't deserve to get all the blame, which is true to an extent. If anything, Moist Critical is more to blame because he's also saying the show is trash and has a much larger audience. But the reason I don't point to Charlie as the face of anime tourism is because A, he's just stating his opinion and doesn't have a reputation for rage bait, and B, he isn't really an anime creator and doesn't claim to be. Meanwhile, you have Nicholas Light reacting to Charlie for views, and then claiming the One Punch Man director is upset with him. On top of that, Nicholas Light regularly makes claims like he's the biggest anime reaction channel, or more recently he claimed that he was the biggest Don glazer, almost like on Twitter when people unironically call themselves hive leaders. To be fair, he does get some of the most views in the anime YouTube space, but while he claims to be targeted by One Punch Man's director, the director came right out and said he has no idea who he is. Ironically, this has been the response from every anime fan I've talked to. As someone in the YouTube space, I do my due diligence by paying attention to channels like Nicholas Light. But the funny thing is, with all of the views he gets, every single person I show him to has never heard of him or even seen any of his videos. He claims to be the biggest anime reactor, but everyone woke up to the One Punch Man drama and said, who the hell is this guy? The dude gets millions of views, but most anime fans have no idea who he is. And the ones who do only know him for making slop. And I wish I could say something nice about him, because as someone who loves anime and YouTube, I try to find the best in what channels have to offer. But when you make claims like the biggest Don glazer and your commentary looks something like this, or something like this.
Oh yeah, oh I'm almost done,
It's kind of hard to take you seriously. I'm not saying his commentary is bad because he acts crazy. One of my favorite creators is Maximilian Dude, and he's even crazier.
Take down the Kingpin in the beat-em-up side-scroller The Punisher, and more.
But the reason people like when Max goes crazy is because he's genuine. He hypes up the stuff he loves, but he also starts thoughtful discourse when the companies he wants to support are clearly falling short of expectations. The reason nobody likes Nicholas Light is because his reactions are completely binary. He's either eating Godzilla dolls and losing his mind, or he's saying that the show he's supposedly a fan of is absolute trash. And the worst part is, as soon as everyone called him out for rage baiting and contributing to the director leaving Twitter, he flip-flopped and started calling himself a victim. Suddenly he says that he's being targeted and that they want to shut him down for critiquing art. Really, Nick? This is what you call critiquing art?
These don't even look like the characters! What is that? Is that what the manga frame looks like?
This is what you call criticism.
Nah, I don't want this shit. I don't want this shit. I want movement. Give me fucking movement.
This is the intellectual free speech that Bandai Namco is afraid of.
When I have points to back it up, I'm understanding what's going on the screen. Yeah, it looks good, but it doesn't move at all. It doesn't move good.
So you find every opportunity to rip on the show in the most surface level commentary, and then when people give you criticism for your reaction, you call yourself Anime Jesus and complain that people are silencing you on Twitter in a post that you prevented people from replying to. And this is why Nicholas Light is the perfect example of how anime fans want to be experts when they're not even fans. He has made several videos where he claims YouTube's out to get him because he's getting copyrighted, showing just how ignorant he really is, because literally every channel with a few subscribers has gotten copyrighted at least once. I've been copyrighted a bunch of times. My editors have each been copyrighted on their own channels. It's not a new problem, and you're not the only one it happens to. He also claims to be the biggest Dandadan glazer, but Dandadan fans have never heard of him. He claims to be critiquing art, but all he does is say stuff like, "it doesn't move good," and then waits for everyone on Twitter to get mad so he can act like Anime Jesus. At no point does he actually show that he's a fan of any of these shows. He's come out and said he doesn't read manga.
Because I don't read. Do I look like I read, bro? I don't read manga. I don't read anything.
So it's not like he reads the source material, and when he does watch anime, he offers the most surface level commentary, saying stuff like Gachi Akata is trash as if everyone and their mother hadn't already made the same joke. The reason I say he represents the problem with the anime community is because this isn't the first time this kind of thing has happened. Back when the My Hero Academia manga was still running, there was an incident where something happened and everyone started tagging the English translator, Caleb Cook, telling him how bad he was at his job. Mind you, this is one of Viz Media's best translators who loves these manga and would even post threads where you could read extra information about the series he covered, like Dr. Stone. And guess what? Now he's off Twitter. He went back and opened his account so people could see those posts, but My Hero fans were so obnoxious with their criticisms that they made him leave Twitter. And here we are again with someone like Nicholas Light claiming he's a One Punch Man fan and doing everything he can to give it a terrible reputation. Granted, there's always a time to be critical, but there's people like Sarcastic Chorus who only critique the shows they like because they have a real issue with a show they love, and then there's Nicholas Light who can only say the animation doesn't move good. But to that point, you might say, why does this really matter? You yourself just said this isn't a new problem, so besides the recent drama, what does it matter if anime fans are being anime fans? Well, that's just it. People like Nicholas Light are not anime fans. They're so concerned with how many anime they watch or what opinions they have, but then you ask them about the anime they like, and all they have to say is it's peak or it's anime of the year. Then you have guys like Chibi Reviews who spends more time talking about censorship and Hassan's dog collar than actually reviewing anime. And people will say, you know, don't give these guys the engagement. But that's what real anime fans have been doing, and the problem is only getting worse. And it's not just content creators. As a content creator, I can't tell you how many times I get asked what my top 10 anime are, or what I rated this show or that show. People are so concerned with watching the best shows, or making sure they watch the popular shows so they can post their reaction to it, but everyone forgot how to find shows they actually like. And I mean that literally. I've seen a lot of burnout with anime and manga fans. People saying, yeah, I don't really watch anime anymore, or I can't find any good shows. Which is a crazy thing to say when the last 2 years have been some of the best years of anime ever. But it's easy to get burnt out when everyone has to make Frieren the #1 anime on Mal, or everyone only watches the top-rated shows, or everyone has to vote Solo Leveling Anime of the Year and Fantasy of the Year, and Romance of the Year. And that's the whole reason I made this video. Not because I care about what Nicholas Light thinks, not because I care about the normies ruining anime, but because a lot of people are getting burnt out by anime, and this issue of experts versus fans is the cause of it. But now you're probably wondering what the solution is, because if Nicholas Light gets millions of views covering anime, but none of the anime fans you talk to even know who he is, then what does being an anime fan really mean, and how do you become one in the era of anime experts? Well, I'm gonna tell you what I tell everyone on my channel. Just watch what you like. Literally, watch stuff that you like. I don't mean only watch shows that you like and avoid anything else, but stop worrying about what reviews a show got and just watch it for yourself. I don't watch what's popular. I watch what I think looks cool. I watched Shangri-La Frontier, and I fell in love with video games all over again. I watched Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai because I love fantasy, even though it wasn't the most talked about show, and it became one of my all-time favorite anime. If you want to find shows that you like, just go on Crunchyroll and take the time to browse the page until you find something you like. Once you do that, look up the studio that made the show and check out their other shows. So if you're a fan of Gurren Lagann, step out of your comfort zone and try Panty and Stocking. It might look weird, but it's made by Trigger, so there's a chance you'll really like it. Do that enough times and you'll find studios that you genuinely enjoy instead of parroting the same 3 studios from Twitter. Or if you want, check out anime from the same manga artist. So if you like Full Metal Alchemist, watch Demons of the Shadow Realm when it comes out. If you like Dr. Stone, go back and watch iShield 21. And if all else fails, look for shows about stuff outside of anime that you like. If you like historical fiction, watch Golden Kamuy. If you like Harry Potter, watch something like Mashal or Witch Hat Atelier. Instead of looking for the best anime, take the time to find the best anime for you. Instead of watching shows just so you can have an opinion, start watching shows so you can learn what you like. Even if you don't like it, that's one more thing you know about yourself. And this doesn't just apply to shows. If you hate anime videos, you're probably not looking hard enough. Instead of watching whatever YouTube recommends, look up channels like Totally Not Mark. If you want a good reaction channel, someone like Carmen Elaine makes great videos. Even Spilling the Milk still covers the occasional anime, and they're one of the best channels on YouTube. And if that doesn't work, just search for your favorite anime. It may take a while, but I guarantee there's at least one reaction or video essay for you. And that's why I wanted to make this video. Not to give any more engagement to anime experts, not to make a drama video and then be phony and title it like, I don't like making these videos, but to point out how being an expert is ruining anime for everyone else. If you find yourself watching shows just so you can get them canceled, watch something else. And if you hate what everyone else is watching, then start looking for shows you actually like. Because once you find a show you love, you'll want to share it with everyone you know and praise everything it does right, even when it gets some things wrong. And that's what it really means to be a fan.